just when I thought I had the potential to go on my first actual good month in July. That may change pretty quickly after what I just heard yesterday, and more so even when I came back from another big win, another big shoot-around win for me, just beating Russ on his own home floor, which was one of the most impressive I've ever played. And now to see, and now to hear what I'm hearing, it's almost like, it's like I said earlier this morning. This important 2 weeks for me may just cut short. Unfortunately, it's gonna cut short because I really wish I could say it here, but I am not going to do that. I need another video site for me to really say what I need to say, but all I know is just pertaining to a family matter, and that's just that. And we get that things happen. We get there's just accidents that just happen, and it's like what Robbie told me. No matter how you want to plan for the future, plans just never work out. And just when I thought, I was ready to just really prepare myself for these, on how I can utilize these 2 weeks, treating every single day like there's no tomorrow, like it's a game 7 of the NBA Finals, just having that mentality. I know the first couple of days have been pretty crappy, just having to, to deal with the ongoing, warm air when there was no air conditioning at the time. Yes, I had my shoot-arounds on both of those days. One was pretty light. I was able to finish well at Curtis Park, and then the next one was at home, and obviously that was more exhausting because I played an overtime game. Yeah, I still won en route to my eighth straight win, and I think this was just one of the most impressive games too, because I hit 7 straight threes to reach 28 points, or 28 over 27 points. That was 27 was supposed to be the designated target score. I only had 7 points after the 4-minute mark. They had no choice but to attempt the threes, and I did just that. 7 straight to go for 21 points basically. It's 21 points off of threes. So, and then coming back, from that game, from my lunch break, I was just feeling it, like I was really exhausted, and coming home, it just really felt like I wanted to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But I think my 2 weeks didn't really start until yesterday, or it's more like yesterday evening, when I beat Russ in a pretty convincing 2 for 3 activity, where it was a clean sweep for me. I almost lost to Russ and Horse, but really had that 3-pointer to eliminate him, knowing that his 3-point shooting was his weakness, and I eventually won. So overall pretty impressive shoot around, and just coming home, I wanted to really feel so much joy and so much happiness, and then I hear what I hear, and let's just be real for a second, man. When I once said 1-6, that may change, and I might just suddenly go 0-4-7. Yep. I mean, it's damn near possible at this point, considering that these the supposed 2 week 2 weeks I have where I may just have the biggest break of my life this year alone, possibly my only break this 2 weeks. That may just well cut short. And I do have a couple of vacation days that's for later this month. I may end up having to cancel them because of what has happened. And it just sucks. It's almost like just when I really need a moment like this, where I finally get the big break that I want and need, and especially after what I went through last month, just going through the everyday grind from start to finish, and it's just like at some point I pray to myself that, and I feel like at some point I need to finally get a break, which would be supposedly this week and next week. But it's not the case anymore. That 2 weeks is already cut to possibly just one. And this week is about to end. I mean, at this point, it just comes off as another unexpected happening that is just expected. And of course, it's another disappointment, that is expected as well, So it's almost like the world is just asking me to fall flat on my face. Like the world is just wants me to continue suffering. That's the way I see it, because basically nothing's going my way. And it has not been going my way all year long. I hate to say it. It's like, nothing's really going in my favor. And for as much as I tried, and now all of a sudden I'm just feeling more and more limited. And I even said about my outdoor freedom that I'm just very, very limited. And just when I thought I needed the 2 weeks, these 2 weeks to just really take advantage of every single day, to do what I need to do and do what I can, especially when it comes to my job situation. Now all of a sudden, like, those 2 weeks, it's going to shorten to just 1 week. And but it is what it is at this point, man. Like, when I found out I was gonna have these 2 weeks, it sounds like I might just already have finally one good month. But even so, it's like one good month, I mean, is that really all I can ask for? Considering that the 2025 year is already, my year's already just been really bad, and I already called it like worst year ever. After 2024, right? So, I mean, it's not bad to just get one. At least I would avoid a sweep of 0-12, so that our boss wouldn't have to clown around and laugh at me, since he predicted I was going to go 0-12 last year. I bet he would this year too. No, I'm just kidding. So, I mean, the way I see it now, I hate to say it, I may just go 0-7 instead of 1-6. Now, it is not for sure if I'm going to go 0-7, because after what I heard yesterday, I mean, it may just almost come to that, because I haven't really had a chance to do everything else, like, with what I need to do. And now eventually it's just, it may just go back to, just me just feeling a lot more limited now, and seeing, my entire family just go back to having that new responsibility that they're taking care of, and me just when in need, just needing to cover up for a lot of their duties, because of their new responsibility that they have to, to work back on, So this is exactly the life that we're dealing with right now. And you know, it's just a stressful life that I'm dealing with. It's just a lot of stressful situations, and it's like, you know, I just I mean, who knows? Like, I may just have like maybe one or a couple more days left before, you know, before things just go back to just to normal, and to, you know, just dealing with what I have to deal with. And you know, it's just that. I mean, see, I really don't believe in, you know, I wrote a blog about this a long time ago about, you know, why I don't believe in meant to be. Maybe I'll discuss that on in another video. But I think I made one before about that. Maybe like back in 2022, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021. It's about a few years ago I made a video about that. So I mean, I gotta look back, but I'm pretty sure I made it. But if I do happen to want to discuss it again, I'm gonna add something to it that, you know, it just pertains to that. Like, when some people say everything happens for a reason, the for a reason part I don't understand, but I do understand that things happen. You know, that's how I understand it, because that's just part of life. But for a reason, I don't know what reason it was is for what just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather just stick to things just happen, because, you know, there's just so many unexpected things that just happen, and, you know, this just goes along with plans as well. And unfortunately, for my sake, like, these 2 weeks that I needed, you know, it's not going to be 2 weeks anymore. So it's almost like the times when I used to be the man of the house, and I only get like a few days for it, you know. And although it just feels great, it only lasts for a few days. And sometimes when I just need the week to myself, it's always been, you know, like a week or close to a week. And, you know, like with these 2 weeks, it's like that 2 weeks once again, it's just turned into one. And it's just like, at this point, it just makes me wonder, like, you know, when I'm going to have separation, you know, me just gaining my own peace of mind, you know, so where I don't have to worry about dealing with the same old normalcy, like back to reality, the kind of, you know, sometimes a bit harsh reality that I'm having to deal with, like that. So that's why I'm thinking that I might just end up being 0-7 instead of 1-6. That 1-6 would have been if everything is going you know, according to plan. But it sounds like that's just not the case anymore. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I just feel really, you know, ashamed and disappointed, and look, I get what's happened, and, you know, I'm just gonna keep sending my prayers, right? You know, and you know, some people just really, you know, they just really needs strong recovery. You know, the same way it goes for, like, you know, no matter how much I dislike some of these NBA players, you know, when they go through such grueling injuries, I mean, I always wish them well. Nobody want to wish harm on anyone. Nobody want to wish, like, any severe injury that they may recover, that they may go through. You know, I mean, I don't do that. So, but that's just me. Anyway, I just thought I'd get this topic out there, because this is a very concerning one for me, that I might just end up being 0-7 instead of 1-6. But who knows? I may be wrong, because again, I might just, it's just, you know, everything that I'm hearing is just a minute-to-minute thing. And I really don't like that. I'm not a last-minute kind of guy, but I like everything just planned, like, in advance, you know, even if it's just like a day ahead or a couple days ahead. But, you know, I gotta live with these kind of you know, these kind of moments right now. with a lot of the situations that I'm hearing, and like I said, I really wish what I really want to say, but I can't say it. I'm just gonna have to generalize as much as possible. So yeah, some of you may understand where I'm coming from, some of you may not, or may get lost, but I bet most of you know where I'm getting at with this. Especially the guys that are listening to this video, like Russ and Julio, Carlos, maybe Mari, Neil. I'm pretty sure they'll understand where I'm coming from with this. So even as I'm trying to just generalize as much as possible. So all right, who knows if I'm gonna go for one good month or if I'm gonna go at 0. It's just this is the change that I gotta deal with. Unfortunately, it sounds like I'm gonna go 0 for 7, but I could be wrong. I really don't want to go 0 and 7, but that's why I just really don't care. So yeah, I gotta do something with my own life at this point, because I really don't want to feel stuck and just trying to do my job hunting this week. It's like that's the only thing I can do to really get myself out of being stuck, which is that dumb workplace. So yep, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I don't know how else I can solve a lot of these other things, and when just a lot of them are not under my control. So it's I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. So there's not really much left for me to say. So let me know what you guys think.